Hi, my name is Jack Rackham, and today I'm going to show you the family tree of Boris Johnson, the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom at the time of this video's release, known for his role in the campaign for Britain to leave the EU, and, of course, his iconic hairstyle. We'll be looking at a few of his close relatives and tracing his ancestry to some surprising roots, including a German king and an Ottoman minister. Examining Boris's direct agnatic line, we begin with Ali Kemal, a prolific journalist and political figure in the late Ottoman Empire, who was influenced by Western Europe. He ultimately was lynched in Constantinople, but while he was alive, he married a British woman, Winifred Brunn, and they had a son named Osman Kemal. Of course, there is no Osman Kemal on this chart. That's because his mother Winifred died after childbirth, and Osman was raised by his grandmother, Margaret Johnson. When Osman grew up, he went by his middle name, Wilfred, and later had his name legally changed to Johnson to match that of his grandmother. So, had things played out just a little differently, the Prime Minister might have been Boris Kemal. It's worth mentioning that Ali Kemal married a second time and had another son who became a Turkish diplomat. And then he had a son who is today a Turkish politician. So this politician and Boris are only first cousins once removed. Wilfred Johnson then married Irene Williams, which is where English and German nobility enter the picture. Now, yes, at a certain point everyone has some royal blood in them, but usually you have to go back around 15 or 20 generations. In Boris's case, you need only go back 7. You see, Irene Williams was part of the aristocratic de Pfeffel family, a few members of which were in stations of nobility. Going further up, she was related to King Frederick I of Württemberg, a kingdom that was originally part of the Holy Roman Empire, at least until Napoleon came in and broke it up. But that's not Boris's only connection to royalty. Frederick's wife, Princess Augusta, was the daughter of another Augusta, who was the sister of George III. That's because her father was the Prince of Wales, though he never became king because he died before his father, George II. Back to Irene Williams, she and Wilfred had a son named Stanley Johnson, who was a former member of the European Parliament and Boris Johnson's father. He married a professional painter named Charlotte Fawcett, who has a couple of her works in Oxford University's collections. Speaking of Oxford, her maternal grandfather, Elias Avery Lowe, was a Jewish man working as a professor at Oxford, and her maternal grandmother, Helen Porter, was an academic as well. She translated the work of Nobel Prize laureate Thomas Mann into English. Their daughter, Frances, married Charlotte's father, James Fawcett, who, as you can tell from his ornate wig, worked as a British judge. Now, in addition to Boris, these two people had 3 other children, each with careers in the public sphere. Boris's youngest sibling, Joe Johnson, was a member of Parliament until just this last November, while both Leo and Rachel Johnson work in journalism. And finally, we arrive at Boris Johnson himself. He is, as mentioned, the current Prime Minister of the UK, and was also an MP for 7 years and the Mayor of London for 8. While at university, he became engaged to another student, Allegra Mostyn Owen. They were married for 6 years, but had no children together. He next married Marina Wheeler, a lawyer with whom he had 4 children. But during his first term as Mayor of London, news broke of his daughter by another woman named Helen McIntyre, and he hasn't gone on record about the number of children he has, so it's possible that there may be others. Boris and Marina divorced as recently as 2018, and currently he is not married but recently engaged to Carrie Symonds. And during the production of this video, it was announced that Carrie and Boris are expecting their first child together. Alright, that was the family tree of Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister with ancestors from all three major Abrahamic faiths and royalty from 2 different kingdoms. If there's anyone whose family tree you would like to see us cover in the future, please let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.